Hey there, people of the internet. If you've noticed, I have an average Word document. And if I open it, it opens just like an average Word document. And it even has text like an average Word document. And if I read the text, it says, "This is an average Word document." Or, is that what they want you to think? So, why would someone say this? Well, let's check a couple of things. And, for starters, what you need to know is that most Office documents, so that's like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, believe it or not, they're actually zip files with XML data inside of them. So what we can do is we can take the extension here and rename it from the Word extension, or Word document extension, I should say, of docx to file. And again, Microsoft is going to give us a little warning here. And we're going to say yes. And if you noticed, it changes from a Word document to a zip file. And when we double click and open it, you'll then see this is actually the content of the Word document. And you can see there's an XML. And if we go into the Word, here's all the XML files that make up the structure of the Word document. You know, you got stuff about fonts and settings and styles and, you know, stuff about documents. And if we open one of the XML files, you'll notice, look, here's all the data that basically makes up the Word document. So Word can interpret this into a readable Word document. But for those keen observers, you'll notice that right here, there's a magical mystery folder called "The Truth is Real," and it's buried among the other components of the Word document. And if we open it, lo and behold, there's an XML file called "Secret Messages." And if we open these secret messages, open the secret message file, we can then see the secret messages buried within this average Word document. And the secret obviously the secret messages are: "The Illuminati is real, just ask Steve." Find the great raspberry armpit tentacle with the memes through the power of Google and YouTube. Flying, fire-breathing giraffes do live in 30-foot bowls of oatmeal. Now, that last one, I'm not giving it, but, you know, not everybody believes. We even have a mysterious website. And if we go to it, my computer won't get viruses, because I know somebody's thinking that. But then we'll have more to experience. And talk about an interesting experience. So, we've just proven that buried inside this supposed average Word document are secret messages. Now, to make it even more trippy, if we go back and we rename it from a zip file, the zip, back to a docx, which is, again, the Word document extension. And we double click to open it, you'll notice that it opens just like an ordinary Word document. Also notice that I didn't say average this time. But, so whoever opens this Word document could never know that buried deep inside the Word document is secret hidden messages. But, okay, so you're probably wondering, alrighty, this is really cool. How do I do this? So what we have here is, let's take a quick look. What we have here is we have a Word document, a PowerPoint, and an Excel. And just kind of like I was mentioning before, if we change them to a zip file, open it, this will show you the structure of that particular file or that particular Word document. And you can see, you know, here's doc properties, and, you know, here's Word. So this is going to be all the data stored in for Word, like we talked about earlier. And again, the same goes for PowerPoint. Now again, the structure is going to be a little bit different. So, you know, instead of saying Word this time, it'll say PPT, PowerPoint. And you can see it, again, the structure's a little bit different. You know, instead of having things about like Word and fonts and styles, it has, you know, things about presentation and how it's supposed to present, and master slides. And, you know, there's the slide, and it creates an XML file for each slide. And again, same for Excel files. So again, it says, instead of like Word or PPT, it says Excel for Excel. You know, it has one for styles, it has one for the workbooks. We can go in, you know, to worksheets, you know, and there's the data for the individual sheet. Now, if this Excel had like 2 or 3 or 4 sheets, you know, there would be an XML file for each sheet. Now, you're also probably wondering, how do we then get the files in here? There's also a couple important things to note. So for starters, let's make a copy of this. And we'll just call this test doc for test document. Right. Now, what we can do is we can use this program called 7-Zip. Now, this deals with zip files and other archive files. And we'll open it. And again, you'll see here, here's the structure. And we can go File, Create Folder. And we'll call this Test. We'll call this Test Folder. Now, there's a little bit of a glitch with this, so if we come down to Create File, it'll give us an error and it won't be able to insert it into the zip folder. But no worries. So basically, we can use 7-Zip only for creating the folders. We can't use it to create the files. But what we can do is we can go to New, Text Document, and we'll create some files to put in there. Now, the important thing to note is it will only work with XML files. So, just for an example, if we take this test.txt file, and we put some test files in there, or some, just some text. and we'll put some stuff in here. So we have our file that we would want to put in here. We can right click on it, cut, and then we can open up our test doc zip file, and we'll just go into the test folder and paste it right in. And then just like we did before, we'll go in and change this to docx. We'll click and say yes. And then right here, we'll reopen it. But notice, it's going to give us an error. Because basically what happened is, Word doesn't exactly know how to interpretate that TXT file that we put in there. So, you know, it'll try to recover it. Then it'll ask us, you know, you have to download some add-on or whatever it is that only works with certain versions of Word and blah, 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 blah. Now, what we can do is we'll change this back to a ZIP file. We'll open back up. We'll move this back out, because again, once it's in a zip file, you can't really make a significant edits to it. And we'll rename it, and we'll change it from a TXT file to an XML. Right, once again, we'll put it back in the folder. And then we'll rename this back to a Word document. Right? And then it'll open just like an average Word document. Like nothing ever happened. So, basically, that's how it's done. That's what it looks like. So the next time that you look at a Word document, or PowerPoint, or an Excel file, what could happen is you could hold evidence and proof that Illuminati is real, or it could just be an average Word document that contains your homework. But in truth, the truth is out there.